It's your boy Online Davo, and we back with another video. All right, look, we got a video about fuck DH. I am worried about Rakai, and let's get right into it and see what bro talking about. Come on.
Who this little boy?
What y'all
Is he legal?
Yeah.
Is he legal?
Listen, I'm grown. My birthday just passed.
How old is you?
Huh?
How old are you?
I ain't gonna lie. For you to even ask that question, you're weird. Cause you know that motherfucker look young as hell. So you to ask, is he legal? That's what?
19.
Huh? What?
19.
19? See, you can't even talk right. You can't be old enough for me.
Can we get a 360? Like, no disrespect. Come on, auntie, nigga. You want 360? Auntie,
Recently,
This nigga, this shit is. Bro, this nigga is matey. What? This nigga talking about something about auntie, and he gonna take a step back and look.
You want 360? Auntie,
Recently, this clip of Rakai has been going viral. How old is this woman? And why is she throwing butt around a kid? We need to talk about how there is this weird complicitness around allowing children, but more specifically Rakai, to be around grown adults in these sexual environments he's been in despite being a kid. It's starting to feel like nobody...
Bro, this is how they treat young black men, bro. Young black boys. I'm gonna keep it real. Like when you go up in like the hood or the projects or whatever like that, bro. Like some of those people there would say like little shit, like, oh he's so cute, oh he's so handsome, oh only a few years older, like little weird shit like that, you know. And it's like, and in a moment you like, damn, like, you know, like, you don't think it's weird because no one told you it's weird, right? You don't know no better. But as you get older, you think back, you're like, yo, that bitch is weird as fuck. I would never tell no little girl like no crazy shit like that. You feel me? It's like, damn, bro. It just how we treat young black men. That's what it is.
Nobody really cares about him. But I'm gonna quit yapping. We got a lot to talk about. You already know I'm the hood Socrates. And let's start. Comment for the algorithm. Now, obviously, the elephant in the room is that Rakai is a child. He recently turned 17, and he's in these rooms with grown women being mad sexual. But before I talk about that, let's talk about some other things that concern me. Let's start with his safety and the adult influences he's around. We all know Rakai is liable to doing some stupid shit, and some of that shit is a direct product of being surrounded by adults who are not truly his guardians and who are not obligated to raise him. And because he's around grown men who are young and honestly pretty dumb at times, he gets into stuff.
Oh my God.
He's around grown men who are young.
Oh Lord.
Young and honestly pretty dumb at times. He gets into stuff like this.
Pick up the music or no?
Yeah, play that. You gotta accept your order. Accept the first pickup. Play that.
Nah, both hands off. Texting.
Oh my God.
Bro, these kids, bro. What? Both hands off texting, my nigga. Who do you think you are? Yeah, see.
This is Rakai taking both hands off the wheel while driving.
What?
I don't even have to really speak more on this. That is extremely dangerous. And he was 16 here, streaming alone, driving alone, and on his phone. And it makes you question, where the hell is this boy's mom? And I want to talk about her a little later in the video, but my point is that he could have lost his life. And he's still a kid, whether he's popping on the internet or not. And I'm not here to hate on a young nigga, okay? I'm actually happy to see a young black boy not in the mud. But let's just make sure we doing it right, because 5 years from now, when he got to reflect on this, I hope it doesn't bring him pain. The thing is that it's easy to ignore the ramifications of what we allow young black boys to do because society sees them as older or more mature. I'll come back to that line of thinking in a second.
I'm gonna get my homies to kill you. I'm gonna get my homies to rob you in the room. But you know he just saying that out of... No, he said that multiple times. He said the football game too.
Saying that to say that, and he's just mad.
He said the football game too, so I'm gonna get niggas to kill you.
Yes, I ain't gonna lie. Say that to a little... Say that to like a 16, 17-year-old is kind of crazy. And you like a grown man. Like you your mid-20s or you 20. Like, yeah, ain't nothing that, like, yeah. But that's the thing, though. He around a bunch of, like, they older dudes, but they not really looking out for him, though. They not looking out for him past the social media aspect. They looking out for him, okay, don't mess up your brand, youngin'. Don't, you know, don't be out here getting no girls pregnant. Okay, that's cool advice. But what about teach them how to carry yourself as a man, though? You feel me? Like, teach them life skills and shit like that, you know? They're not teaching them no shit like that. They just making sure he don't fuck up his bag. You know.
Do nothing to you. All that. He said that to me straight to my face. You say shit to people. You say, listen. When he said you, listen. You are a kid. Listen. You say shit to people. Listen. You say shit to people. Sometimes you don't mean. I did not. I was in the room. He said, "Oh, my dick." I said, "Tell him." He would never.
I don't know if y'all remember this, but Dez and Rakai had an altercation where Dez got out of body and he was threatening to harm him. It was a huge situation that everyone talked about.
Yeah,
but once again, why is a child even over there? Why did that situation even happen to begin with? Rakai was 16 and he was in an altercation with a grown man.
Yeah,
people
crazy.
around him are truly failing him. I think people tend to excuse this stuff due to the fact that Rakai's made a shitload of money from it. But if you can excuse the fact that Rakai is constantly around grown men who aren't trying to guide him or properly mentor him just because he's making money, you're part of the problem. You have placed monetary gain over the safety and well-being of a child. And I just think that's not right.
I don't want to play this card, but it's partially my fault because I don't, like, there's no consequence of what he does. So, like, I never take it there with his parents or his mom and shit. You feel me? Because I see the good in Rakai. I mean, I actually feel like Rakai will be the biggest. I think he's going to be the biggest in the world. That's why I always be lenient with him. But to a certain extent, I had to remember, and we have to remember, that he is a little kid.
Yeah,
That's
he's a
Kai
kid,
saying
bro.
he doesn't take nothing up with my Dukes because he thinks Rakai will be the biggest. And honestly, he really might just be the biggest streamer in the future. But why is grooming him into being the top
You
streamer?
can't. That's the thing, right? He's sacrificing his. He's sacrificing him as a person, him becoming an actual decent person, for the possibility of him becoming one of the biggest streamers. It's like, what do you care about more? And it's like, yeah, we're expecting a lot from a bunch of other young men, you know, a bunch of other young niggas. They are adults, though. We're expecting a lot from them. But it's like, if you put yourself in a position to be deemed as the guardian of someone, then you got to make sure they on their P's and Q's. And everything they do, just like as you were, just as if you were his real parents, people going to look at you like that. Like, yo, what you doing? Why Rakai doing this in your care? And shit like that, you know?
Taking priority over making sure he's not doing things that potentially harm him. And I really don't understand why nobody raised more eyebrows at this clip when it initially was dropped or when Kai initially said it. And maybe even Kai had good intentions when he was saying it. But the truth of the matter is that that's incredibly irresponsible. As the person who Rakai is around a lot of the time, it's partially his duty to make sure he's okay and to make sure that he's not being harmed and to make sure that his well-being is straight. Putting monetary gain and internet clout over that is highly questionable. So with that being said, I want to take a look at some recent events that were really frying me, starting with the white chicks cosplay, because that was just rubbing me wrong for a while. I didn't know how to make a video on it until now.
They got young bro dancing. They got this a minor. They always say they. They got this nigga out here dancing with a skirt on, doing whiteface. I'ma keep it real. This is crazy. But you know, they got my brother looking like.
Blah, 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 blah. You want a mission at Rushrow? Y'all so quick to say him and Rushrow. I believe in Jesus Christ and only Jesus Christ. The f***? Like, bitch, I can wear a bust down one time? The f***? No. You feel me? Hold on.
If I'm being honest, Rakai, you can wear a bust down. I don't really care. The issue isn't the bust down though, but it's the fact that not only does it feel like a humiliation ritual, but the fact that there's clearly a sexual element to it. The nigga started twerking,
that's
bro.
crazy.
Are we gonna act like seeing a 16-year-old who is...
That's crazy. What? Nah, bro. Nah. When I seen that clip, that nigga ain't do that. When I seen the clip, what the fuck?
In a feminine cosplay, twerking for thousands to see is okay. Whatever Rakai does in his free time is whatever he does. But the implications here are weird as hell, twin. It's so weird. Niggas tried to make it about him doing whiteface, but I see a black boy engaging in digital minstrelsy for virality. Mind you, he pulled up on stream dancing and he was pulling his shirt up and stuff. I just think that's a little gross. Also, the internet is forever.
That's hella
and
gross.
Looking back at this has to have some type of psychological effects. Well, it might. I hope it doesn't, but it definitely might. But now let's talk about Deshae Freaky Frost, a man who has no qualms about bringing grown women around this underage kid. Mind you, nobody will bat an eye because the truth of the matter is that black boys are not protected, not even in the streaming space.
Who is black boy?
That's because they view black boys as grown men. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't the damn, I forgot his name. But wasn't the first ever death row penalty, the death penalty was given to like a black young boy? Man, I gotta search that shit up, bro. But it's like, bro, since the beginning of time, it's just more excuses and more reasons that they place on us for them to treat us a certain way. If they view a black boy as a man, or they make that the narrative around the world, when a grown ass white man or a grown ass motherfucker do something to a black boy, they're not gonna look at it like, oh my god, he's such an innocent young boy. They gonna look at, oh, that black man got an altercation with that white man or that white woman. You know what I'm saying? They're not looking at it as a minor who needs help. They're not looking at it as a minor who needs guidance. Once you get fucking 12, 13, they view you as if you got a mortgage and a job, my nigga. Like, it's crazy.
Is he legal?
Yeah. Listen, I'm grown. My birthday just passed.
How old are you?
Huh?
How old are you?
19.
Huh? What?
That's a grown ass woman.
19? See, you can't even talk right. You can't be old enough for me.
Can we get a 360? Like, no disrespect.
Auntie,
nigga! You want 360? Auntie!
You just did a 360. She just did a 360, started twerking in front of a 16, 17-year-old. She know the nigga not even legal. So it ain't no, he did, see, she dirty as fuck too.
This clip is so disgusting. But I'm not faulting Rakai, by the way. He's a young man. But who I am faulting, though, is the adults. Starting with Deshae for lying about Rakai's age. And the woman who clearly knew Rakai was not grown, but she still gave that 360.
Yeah, he a young nigga. He gonna be freaked out. Alright? He a young nigga. He gonna be freaked out. You know what I'm saying? That's, and shit, young women too. Hormones, all that type of shit. But that don't mean you actively put them in situations for them to, you know what I'm saying? For them to explore that. Like just because a young nigga thinking about that shit don't mean you gotta bring some thick ass auntie to pull up to the, like, come on, bruh. That's weird as fuck.
Getting freaky or whatever. That is predatory. There is no other word to describe it. Putting a child in a room where grown women are being sexual is predatory. Not to mention, we know Deshae Frost is incredibly hypersexual. Like, he has a problem, a big problem that the entire internet knows, but for some reason, people just kind of ignore it because he be joking. Where I'm finding fault is that he's quite literally putting Rakai in a position to be just like him. We don't need no more Deshae Freaky Frost. If anything, that dude should still be banned, but that's just my opinion. But does nobody care that Rakai is literally around this freak monster, freak weirdo, and he's putting him in a position where he could potentially...
Hey, I ain't gonna lie to you. Once the mom just gave all the guidance for to Kai and have him just have control of his life, yeah, GG's. I'm gonna keep it real, GG's, bro. What do you expect to come out of a situation? What type of man do you expect to come out of a situation in which you're surrounded by fucking streamers that has girls all around them? They all doing like crazy shit. You know, what type of person do you expect to nurture through that? You get what I'm saying? Like, what type of man you think is gonna come from that? They already adults when they start doing that shit, kinda, like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm not surprised.
be the same. Being around all this sexual stuff is how you make a kid hypersexual, but nobody gives a damn apparently. Then there was this other clip that I had found, and this was the caption. Deshae Frost and Rakai were overly freaked out when Deshae's cousins started throwing it back for them. Number one, why is Deshae always incest baiting? Like, these are super weird things to say, weird things to like label these women that he's getting on. And also, I just don't want to show this clip. Like I've been saying, these are grown women being weird around a child, and I just don't want to keep showing that. And still, I'm left to ask, why does nobody care? But I know the answer, and that's because black boys are seen as more mature. Yeah. People use this flawed logic to perpetuate and normalize the victimization of young black boys. Yeah. Now, I will say there are people on Twitter who are condemning this, but I just don't feel like going and showing you all the tweets calling it out, because it happens from outside, and then it happens from outside the community. It happens from within the community too. Like I told you earlier. Women, saying little shit like, oh, you don't look cute and all that. Like, it's just like little stuff you look back on like, yo, that's weird. I would never say nothing like that. And then you start unpacking that. You like, damn, like, that's another form of the type of grooming they do to young men that no one talks about. You know what I'm saying? They don't talk about, shit like this. They tell like, oh, that's a coming of age story. It's just trauma passed down on to the next until you
until you make it known, until you normalize, like, yo, that's a young man. Just because he's a man, don't mean he uh gotta be twerked on by adult women. That's not no passage to manhood. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. Like, just do your part. Just try to do your part, and stopping shit like that from becoming normal.
Need our bigger content creators to stop purposely ignoring the fact that a black boy is being groomed. Rakai is literally being groomed in plain
these
sight,
niggas weird.
and nobody on the website cares. They got this young man in rooms with grown women, and he has these grown women being real weird, and nobody will speak up about it, and it's so gross. And as for his mom, she is definitely letting her son down.
Should be good now.
So this is gonna be like a little heart. I've been actually wanting to know this. Do you miss just waking up, going to school, and being a normal 16-year-old? Do you miss that?
Yes.
That's truthful.
I can see that.
That's truthful. Yeah.
You miss it?
Yeah. Nah, I do. Sometimes I do. Yo, my
Yeah, that.
you take it off. You take off your homework now.
And she says
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy how he went from like he had that vulnerable moment of like, damn, I wish I was being a normal kid, and then like a second after he starts reading the chat. That's kind of not weird, but it's kind of like it's interesting, like that little sequence right there, how that played out. I don't know how to explain it. It was like some weird like universe shit, that it really put into perspective, like how different his life could have been.
it makes her a little sad that he misses being normal. But I'm just like, protect your son. God damn. Protect black boys from this over-sexual rigmarole. And someone just needs to like condemn Deshae Frost. I'm tired of him being at the scene of every freaky crime. It's starting to get a little irritating. So with that being said, I do hope someone says something. Obviously, it's not going to happen because none of these streamers are really like morally aligned. They're all pretty evil. I do hope Deshae gets condemned a little more for putting a little kid in these rooms. But as I've been saying, I say it all the time, these streamers not even human for real. Like, they gotta be demons masquerading as humans, because a real human with the heart is gonna see this predatory stuff. They're gonna say, that's weird, and get that young man away. That's really all I had to say.
I ain't gonna lie, I think shout out DH for the video. Honestly, this shit is starting to feel like how Hollywood was, or how Hollywood was looked as, you know what I'm saying, in like the 2000s and shit like that. You know, like before streaming took off. Like, it feels like now, like, they putting people through humiliation rituals and shit like that, just, you know, to make it big, because streaming is the new biggest thing now. Like, that's where the internet's going. So now it's like the new Hollywood. At least that's how I'm viewing it. And just like with anything, there's a few good people up in there, but, you know, the system is the system for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Everyone plays their role in keeping the system the way it is. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully Rakai get out, bro. Hopefully he is, you know, being educated on how to be a man, you know, and, you know, pray for them black boys. You know, do your part to make sure none of this shit go on around you. I'm gone. Peace.